Tracking equipment for security officers. Good thing or a bad thing? Well, in my 15 going on 16 years in this industry, I must tell you, I've seen a lot of officers lose their jobs because of tracking equipment. Because they didn't do their jobs. They didn't do what they are being paid to do. On the other side of the coin, I've seen hundreds of officers being vindicated from allegations. Their jobs being saved because tracking equipment vindicated them. It proved what they were saying. It proved that the contractual obligations towards the client was met. I would like to illustrate something. For example, if we take a large building in a square yard, and you've got one officer on duty, and his job is to patrol around the building. That officer cannot have his eyes and his ears on all sides of the building at once. It's impossible. So, if it would happen that a hostile element, a criminal element, enters the premises, gains access to the primary building, the officer, if the officer is doing his job correctly, on its next pass over, will notice there's probably a hole in the fence. Right, that window that was not broken is broken now. And immediately report it and request armed assistance from armed reaction officers and or the South African Police Service. And then, the next day, the clocking reports and the GPS tracking devices will vindicate the officer from any wrongdoing. And I'm not saying that involvement in the break-in and entering situation. I'm talking about that he did do his patrols correctly. Because 95%, that's the first allegation that will come from a client. Say, okay, I want to see that this guy was doing his job correctly. And the company has an obligation towards the client to prove that the security officer did his job correctly. Tracking equipment is your friend. Use it as a tool. It's not your enemy.